Hey guys, we are back out here at it again with the John Boat project that we got on Marketplace. What we're going to hope to accomplish today is get this thing sanded, the sides, the bottom, all the rails here. We're going to do that part first, and then in another video we'll probably do the inside. I'll get that cleaned up and painted also. We also want to do a few things to the trailer, just enough things to get it licensed and ready to go. We're not worried about painting most of the trailer. We're just going to paint like the first part where we put the winch. I'll show you the few things we got that came in. We got the tires, we got the paint, the winch, the light kit, the bunk carpet, things like that we got in already. I'll show you those things that we got. So that's what we hope to accomplish today. We got to scrape these decals off on here and the name. I forgot to bring those decals, but I'll go get those for you guys. We printed out new decals for the side where it says Alumacraft. We printed out new ones to put on once we're done painting. We got those done too. So we're going to be at it for a while painting this. But first, before we do that, let me show you what we got over here on the table. All right, these are a few things that came in so far for the table, or for the boat and the trailer. We got our new wheels and tires. Like I said, everything on this project's gonna be like a budget build or so. Technically, we got the boat for free with a trade. These tires, we got 2 of them, brand new, 80 bucks on eBay. So shop it there. In here, we have the brand new LED light kit for the trailer. All the wiring, everything, the side markers, the license plate holder, everything is in here for the lighting on the trailer. I believe this was like 22 bucks or something like that, Amazon. Plus Prime Days is coming up, so they're gonna have a lot of this stuff probably cheaper. I don't know if that'll come out before or after this video. All right, we got bunk carpet. We just got, I think there's enough here. It's 13 feet. I think each one of our bunks are 5 feet. So this should more than cover it on that. Let's see what else we got. We also got our winch for the trailer, a brand new one because the one on there is all roached out. Got the nice red webbing, so it'll look good with the black trailer. That's the color we're painting the trailer. And then we have our paint. This is the paint we chose to go with. This is a Total Boat aluminum boat paint. This is what we're going to use since it is an aluminum John boat. This should work pretty good. I mean, I've seen it in some videos. It's got the army green color, which is kind of what that boat is. We're going to keep it that color. Go original. And we got a little funnel for that to pour it out easier. This is how we're planning on applying this paint. We got a paint sprayer. It's a high volume, low pressure paint sprayer. Again, one of the popular cheap ones on eBay or on Amazon. It was only like 25 bucks. I count it as a disposable sprayer. We'll see how it does for this job. Hopefully it can finish this job. If it's still working after that, it'll get a good review from me anyway. So that's how we plan on applying the paint. But before we do all that, we got a lot of prep work before we can paint. We got a lot of sanding to do. We got to probably get this front handle off, which is all rusted. We got to get the decals off, and then we don't have to go down the bare metal. We're just going to use probably like some higher grit sandpaper, or I got that really rough maroon, 3M Scotch Brite pads things. I might just use that. It just has to be scuffed up a little bit. In any spot where I find it where there's a burr or something, I'll smooth that down. But that's what we're going to do today. Lots of sanding. I'll put you guys on time lapse or something like that so you can see some of it come along. I don't want you to sit here for 3 hours watching me sand this boat. So with that being said, let's get to it. All right, we're working on our stickers first, then we'll get to sanding this down. I'm not sure what I'm going to use for grit yet. I got a couple scrapers. I got the regular razor blade one, and I got, what is this one? This is 240 grit. I'm going to try that. Like I said, I just need to scuff it up is all I need to do. I got to change my blade out. And then we'll get this thing done. right, guys, we are, I don't know, 3 hours in. We got this front piece done. We have this section and this section done, this section and this section all sanded down. We're doing it with the Orbital, the DeWalt, palm sander type thing. It's one of those dual action ones. And we're getting all the flat surfaces with that. Where you have to go by hand with the 3M scour he's got going around all the rivets to get a closer done. And then some, of course, on the rails. Now we're to the back here. Getting this part done. He's doing around the rivets and stuff, around the handles, the stuff where the sander won't get. But we're going to take a break from this and we're going to do a little stuff on the trailer. We'll go over there and show you what we're going to start doing on that. We got to check our bearings and everything. But as you can see, it looks a lot better. But we're going to go over to the trailer, check the bearings, make sure all that's good on there before we change the wheels. And then we got to get a couple things done on that. But it's coming along. Just takes a long time. So if you're thinking about doing this, get a lot of time or a lot of buddies that like to drink beer or something, and entice them with that. Or take us someplace and get it soda blasted or, dry ice blasted or something. Make it a little easier. But, and we're trying to hammer down, like here was a bigger dent. I hammered that down a little bit just to make it somewhat. I mean, it's a John boat. I ain't worried about that much, but don't need no extra drag. But coming along, guys. Let's go over here to the trailer and do a little stuff on that. All right, this is what we got here with the trailer. We need to replace this winch, which we have already. But before we replace the winch, we might as well get this part like sanded and painted somewhat. Like I said, we're not going crazy on it. We're using rattle can on here. We're just going to get some of the rust reformer stuff we're going to put on here after we sand it a little. And then we'll paint it with some black gloss. Get it ready for paint. Or for that black gloss paint. This will come off. We still need a rubber roller or something here to hit the front of the John boat. I still have to order that. I haven't done that yet. Like I mentioned, we have a new hitch lock here. That's new. We'll tape that off, but we're just give this just a rough sand. We'll probably take this whole stanchion thing off so we can do that by hand. That way underneath it will also get painted. And we're only going to go to about here for right now because we're going to deal with this like last, this part of the trailer. We're just getting it like somewhat to a point where it can be ran on the road. Like I said, with new lights, take all this old stuff off. We got to get, I think that wood over there is still good. But this wood here, we're going to have to replace this one, which we already have the wood for this, pressure treated. And then we will put the new bunk carpet on there. And we still got to order the mounts for those, which, I mean, those are super long. We're going to go over a little bit shorter ones, like 8-inch. But we're waiting for Prime Days to see what's on sale. Then you got these rollers, which with these bunks don't really do much, but they're there in the center of the boat in case you walk up there or something. And then the fenders, we were thinking maybe instead of paint, because trailers will be black, instead of painting these black, maybe paint these the same color as the boat or something else. Let us know in the comment section below what you guys think. Should these be the same color? Should they be the colors of the boat, or what other color you guys got? But yeah, and then we also got to put our lights on. We have all those. It just sucks I can't do all the trailer right now, but we'll get the lights on there. They'll just clip on for now, and then we can pull that all off. But as you see on the wheels, I mean, they're holding air right now. But instead of trying to take these to get blasted and everything, for 80 bucks, I got new tires and wheels. Because this is all checked and everything here. They got that checking. And he's got some kind of bearing grease thing. So that's a good sign. I mean, we're going to check them all. The other side's missing the cap, but we got some on order for that. But that's what the first thing we're going to do is jack this up, take these wheels off, check the bearings, maybe grease them up, and then we put our new tires on. That way we'll at least be to that point. And then we can concentrate on the other stuff. But overall, not too much to do on here. It's a small trailer. And a lot of flat surfaces, so the hand sanding will go pretty easy. Well, hand with the palm sander or the Orbital there. But here we go. Let's attack this thing. All right, like I mentioned, first thing we're going to do is get these wheels off. We noticed that this side has lug nuts. The other side has like bolts, like a European style stuff. But we're going to get these off. And then we're going to, grease up the hub. It seems to spin freely, but we're going to grease them up. Clean up the studs, and then put some never sees on those. We might be able to keep one of them rims for a spare.
Oh yeah, look at that.
But yeah, it's all checked and everything. Yeah, it's bad. But the hub seems to, let me feel it.
It's nice.
It's spinning pretty good, but you can hear it kind of dry in there.
There's a slight jump to it.
I see that. That's the cap.
No, but you can still see it.
That's still this part. This part's spinning nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
But we're going to blow this out a little bit because this one was missing the rubber cap for a while. So it's a little dirty in there. We're going to clean that out, put some grease in here, and see if, yeah, because the nipple's still good. We're going to blow this out, clean it, and put some grease in there, and that should quiet up that. Because it sounds pretty dry. But it's rolling free, so we don't think anything's hurt. We're just going to grease that up, clean it up, put the new tire on. We'll show you that once we get that all cleaned up. Then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. The other side's got the rubber cap on it, on the wheel, so that one looks mint in there. You can see it looks brand new in there. That one's nice. But we got some new caps on order. Like I said, everything with this John Boat project is like a budget build. So everything we did is cheap. All the way from getting it as a trade. The tires, like I mentioned, are only $80 for the set. The caps were only $6, the rubber caps we ordered. So everything's really cheap on here, especially this size anyway. It's only 14 feet, but we'll get these cleaned up and get the new tires on. All right, this one's all set. We got that freed up. This cup here, because it comes towards you once you fill it with grease, just like them bearing buddies. These are probably knockoff brand of those, but it's moving now. It's filled right up. Sounds a lot better. So now we can go to the other side, do the same thing, and then we'll get our new tires put on here. And these will be taken care of. And once our rubber boot comes in, we'll cap that off, but we're going to tape it for now until that comes in. And we're doing the same thing, exact same thing to the other side, except for that side's cleaner. Then we'll go on to the next thing, but getting these done. All right, time for the new wheel to put on here. Our new wheels are 6-ply, where our old ones were 4-ply. For this tiny boat, really don't matter with that, but that's why this one calls for like 90 PSI, where the other one was only 60. There it is. We're gonna use the old lug nuts for now. I'm gonna have to buy some new ones that look better. It's just funny because this side, like I mentioned, is lug nuts. The other side is the studs. So it's like they're both different. So you're gonna have to deal with that because I'm not gonna change a hub just for that. But we're gonna get this one put on, then we'll get over to the other side.
I forgot. She's a boot.
We were noticing on the other side too, when we did the tire over there and spun it, it was vibrating or like wobbling. So we're not sure if it's the hub or the tire. We'll test those to find out. You can tell this one's a replacement hub. It looks a lot cleaner. So maybe they had the same issue from the other side, but that one looks a lot better. We're going to put that new tire on there and see what that does after we grease that. That one's nice and clean. We're just going to fill it with grease. Yeah, it's grease. That's fine.
All right, same problem.
Don't hold it. Don't hold it. It'll push on its own. I see it filling. Oh, we're out of that one. We'll have to get another tube, but I think it's pretty much full. Spin it. Seems all right. Good deal. All right. We'll put the new tire on there, and then we'll be set and ready to go. All right, there we go. We have it on there. We were noticing because we spun the other wheel. The other wheel's kind of straight. This one here, I think that's why we found them cheap. See if you guys can catch that. It's got a little wobble to it. I could see it there. So it's got a little wobble. So these rims might not be the straightest. Maybe that's why they're that cheap, but for the distance we're going, they're going to be great. But at least we got the new tires on there. Next thing we're going to do is take all the old wiring off, get these old lights off, get ready for the new ones. Then we're going to pull that stanchion off so we can sand that and paint that. And then we're going to paint, like I mentioned, from there back to here. Well, there we have it. That's the last of the lights and the wiring. Got them all off. So it's coming along pretty good. Next thing we're going to do is take that stanchion off, which is behind you guys. So we're going to take that one off. We're going to get that ready to be painted. Like I said, it won't be, we're running out of time for today, but it won't be for today for us, but it'll be today for you. It won't be for us. So we're going to get that off. We already marked the distance so we can put it back because it's already set for the boat perfectly. So we're going to take that off, get it ready for paint tomorrow for us, whenever. But we're getting things done here. All right, yeah, let's try that.
There we go.
Watch out yourself.
There we go.
There we go. That stanchion's off. It's going to make it a little easier to get this part of the frame. Get a little easier to get this part of the frame cleaned up. And then also we can get, like I mentioned, we get this cleaned up. Put our new winch on there. So we're coming along a little bit at a time. Still on a budget. That's what we're trying to, that's kind of what the theme of this is. You can end up getting something like this, trading up like we did, or trading in, trading something, and then spend a few $100 to get this stuff on here. We'll keep a running tally, and at the end, we'll give you guys a total how much it costs for us to get this up to where we'll have it at that point. And then we can't wait for that first maiden voyage. This is going to be awesome. Especially on the rivers around here. The water's so shallow. This is perfect boat for this setup. I do miss my big boat. I did like that boat, but it just did not work for the water here. So we'll start with this one on the water around here. Maybe trade up to a bass boat, pontoon boat, something. We'll work our way up to something. But here we go. All right, guys, we're going to be hitting on this frame a little bit just to finish out the day. We're using our DeWalt grinder with one of these purple like scratchy things. It works, seems to work pretty good. We hit the top. We're gonna do some more of it back there to the left. You'll see that it'll tear it right down pretty good. So here we go. All right, guys, we're gonna finish this up tomorrow. We're pretty much getting late. We got some rain coming in, so we're gonna finish this up at least to here, like I said, because we're doing that stanchion with the new winch. We wanted to get that part done so we can have that front piece done. So we're gonna come back tomorrow and get this done. For you, it'll seem like this, but for us, it's gonna be a day. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, we are back at it. Hasn't been long for you, but it's been a day for us. We were getting ready to sand the other half of this boat, but under further inspection, we came out at night. I looked underneath. I did find a few pinholes, which is to be expected, I guess, on a boat this old. It did have water in it, wasn't leaking, but there was so much dirt in it, I think it plugged those little pinholes. But we're going to fix those today. The method we chose to fix those is we're going to braze those with the aluminum brazing rod. Yes, I know for all you people out there, the best way to do it is probably TIG welding it or something. I'm not going to bring all that stuff out and go through all that when there's only a few pinholes I can braze up, and it'll be good enough for now. So we got our MAP gas, which burns a lot hotter than like propane. You could use propane, but it'll take a little longer. Pardon me. And then I got the Brunzomatic aluminum brazing rod. I ordered some Hobart too, but I found this at Home Depot last night and picked that up. Only thing we're doing, I'll show you when we get up closer to doing one. What we're doing is we're using this sander here to clean off the spot. Make sure we got a nice clean area. Use the alcohol to totally clean it. Then we're using our MAP gas and we're just heating around the hole. We don't really want to heat the hole, but we're heating around it. And then we're touching in the brazen rod to fill it in. And then we're going to use the sander later to smooth it out a little bit. And then you won't even notice it, especially because it's all the holes. I think there's like 7 or 8 little pinholes that we found. They're all on the bottom. So once it's painted and everything, you probably won't even see it. But that's what we're doing right now. And then we can commence to sanding the rest of this and getting this ready for paint. We still got the labels on this side to get off, but we're getting much closer. And then we also got to do more on the trailer. Remember I told you we were going to sand that front part of the trailer. So we started that a little bit. As you see in the video, we started that a little bit. We're going to finish that. And that way we can get a coat of the rust reformer on there and the paint and also the stanchion. We're going to take apart and paint that. And I got new stainless steel bolts for that to mount that because the other one's pretty roached out. So that's what we're doing right now. I'll get you guys a closer look of the next hole that I'm going to fill. All right, I got you guys a close-up look here. This is one of the spots we circled them with. Well, you're zoomed in on this one. There's a few more back here. Circle them with a marker. We're going to clean that. You could do one of two ways. We got a stainless steel brush, which works really well. We also have the Milwaukee like sanding disc on here, this angle grinder. But you could try either way. You just want to clean that area. Just like that. You want to try to get as clean in the hole as you can get it. And then we're going to clean it with alcohol. Try to get that whole area clean. Right there. I think we're going to clean that a little bit better. I can see a little more in there. But we're going to clean that out a little better. And then we can get that filled up. All right, get you guys set back up there. I cleaned it out a little better. And then I used just a flat chisel just to concave the hole a little bit. Then we're going to get some alcohol on a clean part of our rag. Clean that whole area right there. Make sure it's good and clean. I also like to clean off my brazen rod a little bit with a clean spot of the rag. There we go. And then now what we're going to do, this one here inside is foam. They got the foam inside here for the buoyancy, which it shouldn't be a problem because it's pretty waterlogged. And we're going to be cutting hatches in there, so we'll be probably taking it out. But this here, you got to watch that foam when you're doing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat around the area like this. So just like that, you're just going to fill in the hole. I mean, we could go bigger than that if we want. You can see how the metal like warps a little bit when it gets hot, but you can see it popping back out right now as it's cooling. But we're probably going to put a little bit more on there, but I need a longer welding rod or a brazing rod. I'm going to grab another one here. We got a fresh one. Clean off our rod again. Let's get a little more on there. There we go. We got it filled in pretty good. We're going to let that cool, and then we can go on to the next one. And we'll come back and use the Milwaukee angle grinder to smooth it out a little bit before we paint. But that's a hole that's taken care of. You really got to look close. I mean, we got some, I don't know, I'll get you guys closer to some of them. Like right here, you guys can see we have a few in a row right here. They're small, tiny, tiny pinholes. Get you guys zoomed in on that. That's a tiny pinhole. I mean, same with like this one here. I mean, that one's so small you can barely see it. But from underneath, you can see them. Got you guys zoomed in so much I can't even see it myself. Yeah, right there. That one. So these are, I think we got one more there. So we got 4 more left to do. Hopefully we got enough brazen rod. If not, we got some on the way. But that's what we're going to continue to do. We'll go around the boat and do all of them like that. All these other ones, we're going to get them all done that way. So they're all filled in. And then we can finish sanding and get this thing painted. All right, guys, so you can see we have them filled in pretty good. Like I said, we will sand them down to a little smoother before we paint. We do have a couple more. You can kind of see the black mark down there. We still have to get, but we're out of the brazing rod. We got some more. I just ordered it. It'll be here tomorrow. Thank God for the fast shipping with Amazon. We're here. Here's that other one. And usually I'm finding that when I'm sanding or cleaning that area, I find a little bit more. So I'm making sure I get them all. I'm going to spend the time really checking everything out. But I think that's my last one that I have so far. I'm going to do, like I said, a thorough inspection of the boat These are the ones I had to do up front. There's one right here. Got that one done. But I'm going to check everything, and there's one over there. I'm going to check everything over really good, make sure I get them all. I don't want to have any of those problems. The metal all around it's pretty good. It's just got those pinholes, which this boat is in 1988, so it's like 37 years old. So you can expect a couple small pinholes in there. Easy fixes. Like I said, you could choose to do it with the brazing rod or with the TIG welding if you have the setup. Some people do it with epoxy. Some people do it with like a patch with 5200 and a rivet. You could drill the hole out, put a rivet in, seal it with 5200, but I didn't want to do that on the bottom, especially. So I'm just going to do this way and see what happens. Looks pretty good though. But since we're out of brazing rod, I guess we're going to start sanding that side. That might help expose anything else if there is any, but that's the side we have left. And we still have to, get you guys zoomed out, we still have to get the decals off of this side here. We got the numbers here and we got the decal down there. I forgot to show you guys that. I'll run and get that. You guys will see that in the next clip. I'll have the decal I showed you I made on my decal machine. I have those new ones made for that too. So I'm also trying to find a handle for the front of this John boat. I can't find one that fits here. Between this hole and this hole, I think is 6.5 inches. I can't find a handle that fits there. So if any of you guys know where I can get one, leave a link down below so I could, in the comment section, so I can go purchase that. I can't find one that fits. The one that was there was, it was homemade. It was just, it hurt my hand. It ain't the one that's supposed to be there. But it's coming along. Let me get these scraped off. And then when I come back, I'll show you my decal, and then I'll just be sanding. It's going to be the repeat of this side. I'm just lots and lots of sanding. So I'm not going to put you guys through that again. There will probably already be a montage in the front of this of me sanding. So you don't need to see any more of that. And then once we get this sanded, we'll wait for our brazing rod tomorrow. We'll finish all the holes. We'll do another final sand, clean it all up, get it ready for paint. And then we're going to jump onto the trailer and do what we can to that today too. I'll see how much daylight we got. All right, guys, many hours later, we are done so far sanding the whole outside of this boat, sides, back, to everything. We used a wire brush to get around the rivets, in all the deeper scratches to get the dirt out, make sure we got that. We still have some little pinholes to seal up. We got that brazing rod coming to be here tomorrow. Once we get all those filled in, then we can give it a final sand, scrub it down with a Scotch-Brite for final, clean it up, and get ready to paint. Of course, we got to work around the weather because we are doing it outside, so we got to make sure it's not going to rain and make sure we have no wind hitting us and stuff. So we'll have to watch for that. But oh, here's that decal I was telling you guys about. We made on our decal machine to replace the ones we took off the side. One for each side like that. And while we were at it, we made a couple more Jimmy 2 Tech logos or YouTube things, but turned out pretty nice. I like it. But next, what we're going to do, since we're waiting on brazing rod for this, is we're going to start on the trailer a little bit more, that front piece. We're going to try to sand that somewhat, a little bit more, and then get at least a coat of the, what is that, rust reformer on there. We're going to try to get that on that front part. And then we'll take the stanchion apart, clean that, and paint that also. We got the stainless steel bolts to replace the ones we took out because they were all rusty. We have those. Once we get that front piece done and the stanchion done, we can mount our winch on there, and the front will be, for the most part, done. We still have to get a stop for the front of the trailer. There's a rubber stop I seen, but I know a lot of people with these, they just get a piece of 2x4, wrap it in the carpet, use that as a stop. So I might do that. It's free, right? So I'll do that, and then that way I can stop here. Like I mentioned, if anybody knows where I can get a handle for the front of one of these, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm really looking for one. I cannot find one anywhere. So with that being said, let's get the trailer pulled over here. We'll start cleaning up the front end of that. All right, guys, we have this front hitch piece off of the trailer. We already got it cleaned up. We just used a wire brush or wire wheel and a sander. Got that nice. We got 2 coats of, or is it 1 coat?
1 coat.
1 coat of the rust reformer on there. That's what we're using. Instantly converts rust to protected paintable surface. So that's what we're doing. Even though we got that pretty clean, we're still going to do this way. We're going to put another coat or 2 on here, then put a coat of gloss black onto it. That'll complete this one. And I'm going to take you guys over to the trailer. We already got 3 coats of the rust reformer on there. And we got 2 coats of paint on that one already too, just that front piece. So I'll take you guys over and show you that. And here we are at the trailer. You can see that looks a lot better. Like I said, we were going to here because we're putting on the new winch with the stanchion all painted up. So we needed this part cleaned up. And then later we're going to hit this. Like I said, this part will probably be last. We just wanted this part done so we can put the winch, and then we'll do the wires. They'll be in there, but that ain't going to matter. Then we can get this frame pressure washed, all this, and then we'll try to clean up the best we can. I mean, it'd be nice to have a sandblaster, but we'll get in there the best we can. That rust reformer will help us where we can't. And then we'll do what we can with the rest of this trailer. We got the new wood, the new carpet for the bunks. The mounts should be here tomorrow for the bunks, because those are 10-inch. They're a little long. We got 8s. We did the wheels the other day. So we're coming right along with this. Let's get you guys closer. Looks pretty good. So that's what we're doing. Now we'll get let everything dry and we can put it all back together. On we go. All right, guys, we got our hitch here all painted, looking awesome. Looks great. And we could have bought a new one. They're only $20 on Amazon, but might as well save that 20 bucks, put it towards something else. Looks really good. Once that dries, we'll get that put onto the trailer, which also this front part's looking awesome. So once they're fully dry, we'll put them on later. And then the stanchion, we kind of ran out of time for today. We got other things to do. But once the stanchion is done being painted, we'll put that on with the new winch, and it'll look awesome up here. Like I said, it almost makes me want to do the whole trailer right now, but I'd rather prioritize the boat and get to the trailer last. Get that done, but coming along. All right, guys, we are back at it again today. As you've seen, we got the front part of that trailer all nice and painted. We also got the front hitch on here. We'll show you that. We got the stanchion parts all torn apart and all painted. We put a few coats of the rust reformer on there after we sanded it down, and then we put a couple coats of the gloss black paint on there. We got brand new stainless steel hardware to mount it all on. We'll give you guys a closer look at this stuff. We got to put this back together, mount it on our trailer, and then mount the new winch on here. The new winch will end up going onto this right here. We'll mount it on here, get that all set and ready. We have our brazing rod. It was supposed to be here yesterday. I guess it's coming today. Then we can get the other pinholes in this corrected, fixed, and then we can prep this thing, do a final sand and scuff, wipe it down with wax and grease remover, and get it ready to paint. We got to watch the weather on that one, obviously, because with the high temps and high humidity and rain in the forecast, we got to watch for that, or even the wind, because we don't want to waste half of the paint to the wind. So let's get you guys a closer look at how these turned out, and then we'll get over here and put them up together on the trailer. All right, guys, as you can see, they turned out pretty good. They're not totally smooth or anything. It's an older type of trailer. I'm assuming the trailer's from the same year as the boat. So that was, what I say that was, an 87 or something. Or I don't know what it was, but something like that. And then here's the thing for the winch. Here's part of the brackets for that. Brand new stainless hardware. This stuff's kind of expensive. If I could have found galvanized, I probably would have went with that, but it looks good against the black. And then let me show you the front part of the trailer over here. We got this part all painted from here over. You guys seen that earlier in the video. We got the new, or not new, but we cleaned that all up and painted that new hitch mount or on here. New stainless hardware right there. So now we're going to put that stanchion on to get the winch on there. You've seen our new tires. The only thing we had that we got new grease caps after we greased up our hubs. So that's in good shape. We do have our new mounts for the bunks. They came yesterday, so we can get those put on. Then we can make our new bunks with the new carpet, recarpet those. And we got to get this set up right so the boat sits on here correctly. You can see that one over there definitely needs some help. And then every part we do on the trailer, since we want to do the trailer last, far as the painting, most of it, any part we do on the trailer, like when we do this, we'll clean this area and paint that area, so we don't have to take that off later when we do the trailer. We can just do where we left off. That would make that easier for us. Same with the rollers. We might pop those off and clean that section. But this trailer's not too hard to work on. And then we'll run the wires after we get the stanchion on. We'll run the wires to the back to the lights, because we need to get this ready for, since this trailer has no numbers on it that I can find, and the previous owner doesn't have anything for it, like a plate or a number. In Alabama, apparently, you don't license, or these don't get tags. They're registered with the boat, so, but there's no number. So I'm going to have to do this as a homemade trailer, apparently. So I got to get it ready for that with the lights and everything that's needed. Then once I get all that done, I'll go down and get all the stuff done. Get the, get a number assigned, VIN inspections, all that good stuff to get this ready to go. But right now, let's get set up, get this stanchion put back together. Yeah, there we go. We're doing something now. There we go. Now we got it back on there the right way. Same measurement though. It's from here to there was 27.5 inches on ours, but yours will be different. Right there. Now we got to get our winch part mounted on here. We got that winch mounted, so here we go. All right, guys, we're going to get our winch mounted on here. It goes on here on the bottom hole on this one. But what we've been doing is any part that touches metal to metal, we're putting on this CRC food grade anti-seize. It's kind of just keep some of the moisture out, things like that. Nothing's going to get all rusty as bad. We're just going to coat that a little bit. Just a little. I mean, every extra step's good that we can do. So we're just going to put a little coat on here like this. We're going to get one bolt to put in there. Let's see what we got. One handed on this. All right, we get one in there. Let me get a nut because I know we're going to need that. We're going on the bottom hole like I mentioned on this one. Go on the back, get a bolt nut started. Or excuse me, a washer and a nut. That way we can let go of it and do the next one. Then we'll mount that winch on there. Boom, like that. We'll get our next one on. Then we can mount our winch on there and continue on. So here we go. All right, as you can see, it is off in our hand. We ran into a little bit of a problem. It mounted in the first hole fine, but the back hole would not line up. So this one's slightly too small. We already found another one on Amazon and ordered it. Should be here tomorrow. Well, at least they say it would be with their Prime Big Day deals. It usually slows it down a little. And that one's going to be a little longer. The holes will line up. Plus, it's 1,600 pound and it has green webbing, which green's my favorite color. So we're going to send this one back, get our green one coming tomorrow, and we'll get that mounted tomorrow. So let me get this boxed up. We'll go on to our next thing. Actually, yeah, we'll go on to maybe, I don't know, we're going to probably go on to doing the lights, but that might have to be in the next video because we still got to prep that back area. And we still need our rust reformer and paint because we ran out of the ones we had doing this part. So that's supposed to be here tomorrow also. If that does come, that'll probably be in the next video. Also, our stuff for brazing the rest of the boat will be here. We're going to be brazing the rest of the boat today. And then tomorrow in the next video, you guys will see we'll be prepping the boat as far as giving it its final scrub or scuff there with the scours. Wipe it down with a wax and grease remover and get it ready for paint. Like I said, we got to pick the day for that. We got to pick something that ain't so humid, somewhere it ain't so windy, and somewhere we're not expecting rain because we are doing it outside. So with that being said, guys, thanks for sticking with us for this video, and make sure you stay tuned and check the bell notifications so you know when we post our next video. You see how this boat's going to turn out being all nice and painted. It's going to look awesome. Then we'll flip it upside down or flip it right side up, get sanding inside there because we're going to throw a coat of paint in there too. And then we got to do the floors, and we picked out a cool camo foam for the seats. We got hatches planned. Plus we'll get to show you those batteries, the lithiums we're going to put in there. And then all our wiring we're going to do for the lights and all that stuff. So make sure you stick tuned for that. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, try something new.
golden.